So, as of the making of this video, Claude 3.5 just released their update, which allows you to essentially put Claude on your computer and then allow Claude to wreck your local desktop in any way. And that's kind of what it'll do. Right? And so, this type of technology and that type of technology has been around for a little while now, right? I have a video where I have a llama model that I gave control of my desktop to kind of showcase that you can do that even with a local model, right? And then so, especially with a local model, but can you and should you are two different things. And then so kind of that release from Anthropic goes into that territory to me of like, should you do it? What's the actual use case behind it? And to me, like, it's on the road towards practical, but it's not actually practical itself. So if you want something that's actually practical within that realm, this is the app for you. I found it, I just stumbled upon it. I have zero affiliation with these people. I found it on Hugging Face. I don't know anything about it aside from the fact that I've used it a bunch now. It's called aidark.net. And then so I'm going to start up an app development. I'm just going to, before we dive deep into this, I'll pick something kind of fun. Tower Defense, Candy Crush, Twitter clone, Spotify clone, Instagram clone, Candy Crush again, Geometry Dash, Discord, AI chatbot. Let's do 8-bit pool. That sounds kind of interesting rather than Flappy Bird. So I'm going to let this spin and run up. And then so this is very cool, right? So what it's going to do is it's going to generate 7 variants, which I think is awesome based off. So it's going to create an app based off of what I just told it to do. And then so in this you can see I can choose the model that it is. So right now it's running on Gemini Flash 1.5, but I could change it to Llama 3.1405, as well as OpenAI O1 Preview and OpenAI O1 Mini. As of right now, changing it to these settings doesn't like charge you or make you input anything. So like it's cool to run it under those. But so your outputs are going to vary depending on your model, especially, right? And then depending on what you're asking it to do, different models will be better at different things. And then it'll run into mistakes and errors. But that's why you get 7 variants. And it's going to take a long time for it to process because it's calculating and it's running code for 7 different variants of this game, which is just super awesome, amazingly cool to me. Some of them will work, some of them won't work, some of them will be different than others. Essentially, like out of 7 though, you'll get 1 that works is kind of how that works, right? And then so from there you have file storage. You can save to folder, share your project, download all of the code, everything that you want to do, right? Like this is, I mean, essentially like everything that I would want out of this type of app here. And then so here it's coded our game. The physics of this particular game don't seem to be working, maybe. Let's try a different variant. This one seems to be a lot better. Yeah, that's what I would expect. There we go. Yeah, see, there we go. Working. That's working physics, right? The ball just went off the table completely, and I don't know how to reset the ball. But we could, like you can of course reprompt this, and then so here's our variation 3, and then go through each one. And this one seems to have some physics issues as well, right? And then so like depending on these ones, you're going to have complicated physics issues with a lot of these variants, right? This is kind of an interesting one. That ball just fired off somewhere somehow. That one white ball. But so you can see this is why they give you 7 variants, right? Because out of the 7 variants, we get this one works, and then I could iterate from here. That's pretty cool. And then we would iterate the mechanics from here, kind of fix that ball going off the table, fix a little bit of the physics. But this is like 90% of a working game in 2 minutes. Like all of it. Here you go, right? How many lines of code is this total? Let's go through or over the 200 mark. 223 lines. That's pretty good, right? That's an app. It's an app that we're looking at, and then you're gonna want to debug this, and then by the time that you're done with it, it's probably gonna be like 275, 280 lines of code. But this first iteration, right? Like this little simple guy, 2 minutes. And then so from here, like you can have apps in 5 minutes with this, right? And then it's again, just file, save as, share, boom, put this up on from here you can go and then import this into Android Studio, and then put this onto like the Google Play Store, the Apple Play Store, from there, wherever you want to put it from here, right? But you have that flexibility. This creates it for you, and then it's, I mean, apps, websites, whatever you like, right? And then again, you're restricted by the models. And so I don't want to overhype these, right? This is technology that, like, this is Gen 1 of this technology, where I mean, you're going to have to work with it and finesse it. Like, zero shot, you're not going to get a 100% working product within 2 minutes. But then if you prompt it and then you follow up and then you have it fix the kind of the mechanics and the physics within this, within 5 minutes, within 10 minutes, you easily have a very workable product, right? Change the engine, run a better model than I'm running with Gemini Flash, which is not the best, especially as far as coding, right? OpenAI 101 Mini, and I'll just say this, OpenAI 101 Mini tends to be better as far as coding than Preview. So like, this is probably the best model to utilize for this. If you're looking for testing purposes, and as long as it's free, I would utilize that, and then just go through, and then again, and you have your different presets, right? So website, cybersecurity, web app, etc., right? And then so pretty cool as far as can you create and this is all the logic that it gives you, all the logic that it outputs as it goes through, right? And all of the what it's outputting and inputting, and then I'll just show another simple one here. Instagram clone, we'll just generate it real quick, and then so you can see as it generates, it's not going to finish generating and processing, but just illustrating this for you, right? That you're going to see more and more of this technology and more of these things. Like more and more people are going to be talking about agents, AI that can do things on its own, things like that. Bottom line, I would say up front, none of it, like no one has any licensing over any of this technology, right? Which is good and bad overall. The technology companies hate that, but it allows it for anyone to do this, right? So if Claude is coming out and then Claude does this, or OpenAI has done out, or Microsoft has come out, there's a variant of this, and 7 variants that are already out that allow you to do this as well. And then in a lot of instances, do it better, right? This, I mean, to me, I would run this over allowing Claude on my local computer. One, this is cheaper. Claude costs you money to run via that API, right? It's not free to run via that API. This everything that we're running here is 100% free. And then 2, this is actually safer than allowing Claude free access to just go buck wild, essentially, on your computer, on your desktop, right? Saying, hey, Claude, do whatever you want with my desktop, as opposed to this. This is actually, like, the good thing about this, right? This is a very closed environment. Like, this is a controlled environment. And then so these errors that are happening with these variants, if completely, like you have a big bug here, kind of with this code, right? It's going on a forever for loop, kind of what we're looking at here. And it's not going to break your whole entire computer there. You're not going to have a for loop that's just completely crashing your computer and then going through. But so as you can see, some of these work, some of these don't. Now we're logged in as a user, can't set properties. So some of these we have to debug, some of them we don't. But I mean, this is pretty cool. It's loading something here. And then so we have the workings and the essence of a basic app here. It's just loading a bunch of images is what it looks like here to me, honestly. But it's pretty cool what you get here. Here, this would be more expected. This would be more expected. Here we go. So if I was playing around, I would probably debug this variant here. This is this is a lot. What I would expect out of a standard app. And then, okay, cool. I'm glad that I clicked on this one, because you can see it does go over 400 lines of code, right? There's a big thing with previous models around that 400 line mark. I've gotten, especially O1 preview, to get well over, and O1 mini to get well over that 400 lines, like 600, 700, even 800 lines of code. In one block, they can do it and they can get past it. So if you think that's an obstacle for the models here, we've kind of surpassed that and gotten them past that within this. There are still bugs within this, right? Like, I wouldn't say this is enterprise level ready. I wouldn't be going through and then installing this for any sort of big organization at the moment. I would be playing around with this as a hobbyist, and then especially like where small businesses, scrappy things like that, you could get some pretty good use cases out of this. And that's kind of where the technology is right now. 6 months from now, it'll be a lot different, right? It'll be like, this is like the Will Smith eating rocks. So this is Gen 1 of Will Smith eating pasta, or The Rock eating rocks, where it's like not the best right now, right? And so Gen 2 is going to be much cleaner. It's going to actually look like them. They're actually going to be doing stuff. And then so I expect that 6 months to a year from now. But here's where we're at. Cool technology. Check it out. aidark.net. If you like this type of content, please like and subscribe. Thank you very much.